It was a warm California evening in the spring of 1975. Inside a small bar in Los Gatos, the smell of peanuts and beer hung thick in the air. At a corner table, three men sat nursing their drinks, complaining about their lives, their jobs, and most of all, their pets. "Man, I love my dog, but he chewed through my couch again," one grumbled. "My cat puked on my records again," another sighed. Gary Dahl, a former advertising copywriter, leaned back, amused. Then he chuckled. "You know what? The perfect pet doesn't bark, shed, bite, or need to be fed." The others looked at him, puzzled. "Yeah? What pet is that?" Gary smirked, lifted his glass, and said, "A rock." They laughed, thinking it was a joke. But Gary didn't. In that fleeting moment, something clicked. A rock as a pet? What if he was serious? Gary went home that night with the idea still bouncing around in his head. Most people would have let it fade, but not Gary. He sat at his desk, pulled out a typewriter, and began writing what would become a 32-page instruction manual for taking care of your new pet, a rock. It had tips like, if your rock wanders away, don't panic. It'll come back when it's hungry. Teach it to stay. You'll be amazed at how well it listens. It was witty, dry, hilarious, and it made the whole idea feel real. He found smooth Mexican beach stones, ordered cardboard boxes with straw inside, and labeled them with their holes and Pet Rock in bold type. It cost him less than $1 per unit to make. He priced it at $3.95. Gary began selling the Pet Rocks in a few local stores. But the real break came when he got media attention. In August 1975, Newsweek and The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson picked up the story. The country erupted in laughter. Was it absurd? Yes. Did people love it? Oh yes. It was a novelty, a gag gift, a cultural phenomenon. In the months that followed, Gary Dahl sold over 1.5 million Pet Rocks. Yes, he became a millionaire by selling rocks in boxes. The money came fast, and so did the attention. Gary was suddenly a celebrity. He appeared on talk shows. He fielded interviews. Some people called him a genius. Others called him a scam artist. But Gary just shrugged. "The whole thing is a joke," he said, "but it's a good one." Soon, copycats appeared. Everyone wanted in on the novelty gift business. Gary tried to replicate the success with other ideas, a sand-breeding kit, a red herring in a can, but none came close. Eventually, the Pet Rock fad faded. After the craze, Gary retreated from the limelight. He opened a bar called Carry Nations in Los Gatos and later ran a small publishing company. But wherever he went, the question always followed. "You're the guy who sold the Pet Rock, right?" And he'd smile. "Yes. Yes, I am." Gary knew the magic wasn't in the rock. It was in the idea. He understood something most people missed. In a world full of seriousness and stress, people crave silliness. They want to laugh. They want to share something strange and unexpected. The Pet Rock wasn't just a toy. It was a moment in history, a mirror held up to consumer culture, and a wink at the absurdity of it all. Gary Dahl passed away in 2015 at the age of 78. But his story remains timeless. He proved that a clever idea, no matter how silly, can change your life. Humor has value. Simplicity sells. And sometimes, the wildest ideas are the ones worth chasing. So the next time someone says, "That'll never work," remember Gary Dahl and the rock that made millions smile.